Okay, this is how to take one little boring drum loop and make it a little bit more exciting by doing things to it. And so this is a random example of a drum loop. It's just an Apple loop. If you're in Logic and you hit the F as in Frank key, it'll open up this right-hand side, and then you can click over here for loops and stuff. And then you can click on all drums or kits or beats, something like that. Then come down here. You can click on these things and it will sample them for you, and then you can basically drag it onto a track. You'll have to open a track. Anyway, then hit the F key, F as in Frank, in this Logic 9. Hit the F key once or twice and it'll basically open, close that right-hand side. Okay, so we have this drum loop, and I'm going to create a new couple of audio tracks. Let's say 3. And make them stereo. Now, the idea here is that this drum loop is going to be boring if we have to keep hearing it. So let's do this drum loop for a couple of times through. Say you want this on your verse or something. Actually, let's just do 2 of them. So that's going to sound one way. That's going to kind of like sound the way it came. Actually, I put an EQ on it just so it wouldn't be so harsh to listen to. Without this EQ, cutting some of the high end, it sounds like this. And with this EQ applied, it sounds like that. So I just thought it was a little bit harsh, more just for doing this video. So you could always just bypass that EQ when you're ready to do your regular music. Anyway, so let's say that we're going to do that for the verse, and then say over here we copy that down there. Now we have basically the same material but on another track. Now there's nothing on this track in terms of plugins, but let's do something like, I don't know, a delay. So delay, tape delay. Let's see what this sounds like. Well, that's kind of crazy because it kind of sounds like it's confusing the actual beat. So forget delay. Let's try reverb. Let's do some reverb on it. Put that up there. Put that up there. See what that sounds like. That's pretty extreme. In Logic, if you highlight something and then go up here and say set locators, it'll loop with that green area and a spot. So when you're trying things out, just always pick a little section and just loop it so that it will keep playing over and over while you try your thing. Try your experiment. Okay, so on track 2, we have some reverb happening. Track 1, same beat. We have, I don't know, we'll just call it dry. It's not totally dry because we have this EQ on here, but you can always take that off later. then let's copy it again. Now, let's pretend this is going to be like verse, chorus, verse. This is just a little example. What are we going to do on this part? Well, let's do something automating. If you press the A key as an apple, you get that window. Press the A key again, you get that. So I'm pressing the A key because it's going to give me this automation window. And what we want to do is we want to do an EQ automation. Actually, this is a lot of information for one video, but if you double click the EQ or just in your own DAW, pull up any EQ. And what you can do, this is pretty neat, at least in Logic and a lot of DAWs, you don't have to hit record, but what you do is just go back to the beginning, and then what you can do is tell your DAW on this channel here, we're going to automate the EQ. Automate the EQ. And you'll see how it sounds. It's going to sound kind of fun. So we go over to our channel strip over here, and we click right. You can use latch or right. I'm just going to choose right. That means that whatever I do to the volume or to the EQ, it's going to remember all the little movements and then basically replay it like I recorded it. So you don't even have to hit record to do this. You just have to play it and make sure this is in right. Then when you're done, change this back to read, so it will read what automation you wrote. So I'm going to do some kind of, I'm going to set this up here to do, basically I'm cutting out a whole bunch of the sound to start with. I haven't started recording it yet, but I want to start here. Now I'm going to hit the play button down here to start it playing. Then while it's playing, all I'm going to do is mess around with the EQ buttons. And I'm going to make the sound change over time. And because I have this right button engaged and it's orange, it's basically going to remember everything. So I hit go. And actually, we're not hitting the part we're going to affect until later in the song. I'm getting ready, getting ready, getting ready. Okay, now I'm going to start moving it. You hear how that? So I stopped it. I hit the space bar to stop, or you can hit this stop button down here. I was stopping playing. I wasn't recording anything. I wasn't recording using a record button, but I was recording the plugin parameter movements with my cursor via this button over here, the orange one that says touch. That means if I touch something over here like woo, like that, it'll basically remember it. Now I want to play it back. I want it to reproduce this line here. You can go in too, and you can actually just do that. You can move this line around. It's gonna make that change happen sooner that we just heard. So now let's play the whole thing. Get rid of this. Oh wait, I'll leave this up so you can see. Now I'll go back here and hit the play button. The green line indicates here on that channel, it indicates the EQ. Now all you're hearing is a whole bunch of the low frequencies cut out. Now they got put back in. You hear that a lot on EDM. You hear it a lot on EDM where they just take the EQ equalizer, which is really just telling you what parts of the frequency spectrum that you want to hear. And so now we have a drum loop that we've basically morphed and changed. So I will now bounce this by hitting Apple B for bounce. And it's called export in some other DAWs. Oh, did it real fast, so we didn't get to hear it. Okay, so that's how you take something boring like a repeating drum loop and make it sound a little more interesting.